Sources are also indicating that the delimitation process will follow the census. Yes, India's census cycle is expected to change, and we're also, it is being implied that the next census will be done in 2035 after 2025. Remember, viewers, it used to be done in 2001 and 2011. But what's perhaps most important in this chunk of information is that a delimitation is expected to follow, and the deadline for delimitation, according to our sources, is 2028. My colleague Belly Thomas live with us on the broadcast to share more details. Belly, there's of course been a lot of murmurs that have been circulating around with regards to the census in particular. Now, our sources are telling us that a delimitation process is likely to follow.
Absolutely, Pia. There are the BJP circle in the BJP, especially in Karnataka, is quite happy with the move that there would be a large scale, difference in there will be changes with respect to the votes that the BJP will be getting for the MP seats later on. So this is what, and one more thing, that the caste census is not there has become quite it's become a rattling news for the ruling Congress here as to confusions as to how the census is going to be conducted by this January, Pia.
Indeed, and there is of course also some murmurs with regards to concerns that some of the states in South India have. What are your sources telling you? What is the perception like on the ground with regards to the delimitation? Have some of the political leaders also expressed their concerns or not?
Pia, here the people are of the view that the national leadership should consider the statesmanship is also what the political circles say, and they are also saying that when the delimitation is done according to the population distribution, and there are some places where the density or the concentration of the population is more, and wherein the other places it is scattered, and once the delimitation would be fairly carried out, then there would be a considerable reduction in the number of members that the South Indian states when compared with the North Indian states. And here there is another talk as to how the states are good at exercising population control, and all these states have been very eminently keeping a tab on the population, whereas there are some number of states in the country that doesn't follow it properly. So there are confusions in that aspect as well. So these are the kind of confusions or the debatable topics that.
Indeed, Belly, it seems that we've lost you over there, but Belly is of course highlighted concerns from Karnataka in particular, and let's also take a look at Tamil Nadu as well. But before I go across to my colleague Ramesha, who's been waiting rather patiently with us, I'd like to explain what exactly delimitation is in a brief manner. It is the process of redrawing the boundaries of the Legislative Assembly and Lok Sabha constituencies based on the latest census. Now in India, delimitation exercise has been conducted 4 times, in 1952, in 1963, in 2002 and in 1976. Now, the delimitation exercise was suspended until the 2001 census back in 1973, so that a proportional political representation of states that had been doing well as far as family planning programs was concerned was not affected in the Lok Sabha in particular. Now, when the next census was conducted in 2001 and the delimitation was taking place in 2002 under under the Vajpayee government. But it was decided that only the borders of the parliamentary constituencies within a state or a union territory would be redrawn based on the population. But neither the absolute number of constituencies within the state or the union territory could be altered for the next 25 years. The aim was to ensure back then that the seats allocated to each state would not be altered, thereby ensuring no benefit to states that had higher birth rates. Now, with sources revealing that the government is eyeing delimitation as well after the census, several concerns have come to light, particularly from Tamil Nadu. The first scenario is and their first concern is that after delimitation, if the total number of Lok Sabha seats remain 543, then Tamil Nadu is set to lose 8 seats. Let's in fact reflect that. We have that placed with us. If our crew upstairs can showcase that. Right, the second scenario is that after delimitation, if the total number of seats in the Lok Sabha changes to 848, then Tamil Nadu is set to lose 10 more constituencies. Now, what is the reason behind this? Now, delimitation, as I said earlier, is done on the basis of population in an area. As Tamil Nadu's population is lower than states like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, it is at a disadvantage. Tamil Nadu's representation would be reduced is what is the concern of people there, especially Chief Minister M.K. Stalin. He is also concerned that the political and the importance as far as development and money that is allocated, the funds that are allocated by the Centre for Development of Tamil Nadu would be adversely affected as well. My colleague Ramesha joins us on the broadcast. Ramesha, you've been waiting rather patiently. I've tried to explain the concerns of the people of Tamil Nadu. Have you spoken to a couple of people? What do the leaders have to say?
Yeah, as for now, the delimitation council not formed right away. After census only, they are going to make it. As for the reports and the specialists who are analyzing the development, so they are saying that if the delimitation done with the set of rules what we had now, there could be a disparity towards the South India, especially Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. They are going to lose many seats, 8 MP seats they are going to reduce. And at the same time, Kerala also going to lose 1 seat, but Karnataka remains Karnataka also. So, as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, if they continue to be 543 seats, then also the Tamil Nadu to lose 8 seats, and if delimitation process or delimitation market for 848 seats, then Tamil Nadu get 10 more MPs in the Lok Sabha. But whatever the MPs they are going to get extra, but the percentage of representation going to be reduced because the population in North India is in high. Then Tamil Nadu getting 10 seats, the Uttar Pradesh and other states going to get more representation than Tamil Nadu. So the percentage of getting the new MPs is very less what compared to other things. If the representation going to reduce, then the political impact and the allocation of funds and development works of this area will be neglected. What the speculation, what the people are saying now, Priya, the Chief Minister in recent days expressed his apprehensions that because of we controlled the population control caused us adversely. We are going to reduce. We are going to get the benefit of. We are going to get this benefit of losing the MP seats. The representation we are going to get down. This may affect Tamil Nadu in development area and getting the funds. What CM says here.
Indeed, and Ramesha, have you spoken to a couple of people, like normal people, just like you and I, and gauge their perspective? What do they have to feel? What does the everyday person have to feel about this?
the common people says that already we are contributing lot of tax and revenues to the central government, but the allocation to the funds towards Tamil Nadu is very less comparing to the North Indian states who are very poor in controlling population and other development works concerned. What their apprehension is, if these things are continued, the representation also reduced. Tamil Nadu will get low funds and get these developments should affect adversely what people says. They say this could lead various socio-economic crisis also in future if the things goes like allocation of funds reduced and other things goes on. What
All
people
right,
says,
Ramesha. With that, I would like to thank you for joining us on the broadcast. Of course, sharing the perspective of Tamil Nadu, but going back to Karnataka, where my colleague Belly has rejoined us. I think the connection has been restored once again. He is along with a former member of parliament in the Rajya Sabha, as well as a national spokesperson of the Indian National Conference, Rajiv Gowda. Belly, there's been a war of words that has been raging over the murmurs with regards to the census. On one hand, we have the big question and of course the information that is coming in that the government will not be conducting a caste census, and on the other hand we have concerns regarding delimitation as well. Over to you. Let's in fact get in the perspective of Mr. Gowda on this.
Absolutely, Pia. The former MP, Member of Parliament, Rajiv Gowda is here with us. Sir, the caste census is going to begin and by this January, and there is, the population census, and there is not going to be any caste census is what we hear. So, how will Karnataka get affected, or what is it for the Kannadigas?
See, you have raised multiple issues here. First, when they do the next census, which is long overdue, my understanding is that they will also do a caste census as part of that exercise. That is something that the Congress party has been demanding. You heard Mr. Rahul Gandhi on the subject. Now, even in Karnataka, we've been asking for a scientific, proper caste census to be conducted and to discard outdated whatever other surveys that have been done. And this will be an opportunity to do the right thing nationwide.
Okay, when it comes to the population, certain states that have, they are good at family planning and things like that. So, how do you look at that?
Yeah, so far, population has been the criterion for allocation of parliament seats, Lok Sabha seats. Now, going forward, because multiple states, especially in South India, have, put in a lot of effort in the national interest to keep their population under control, to have small families. If population alone is the criterion, then you will end up with a situation where it is tremendously unfair to those parties, South Indians especially. This is something that has already been voiced by a couple of South Indian chief ministers, that we don't want the power imbalance to worsen just because we have behaved in the national interest, right? So we need to work out some new formulae on the basis of which these constituencies are going to be allocated and demarcated, etc. That is an exercise that will have to involve the entire country, will have to involve multiple political parties, and will have to be quite imaginative and inclusive. It has to be something that ensures that nobody is penalized, but everyone. There have also been a lot of interstate migration. Okay. So it's not as if people from other parts of the country have not settled in other parts of the country, etc. So there's a lot of transformation that we are in the midst of, and I think it requires us to be imaginative and to be inclusive, to be focused on how do we do the right thing, the fair thing.
BJP in the opposition presses for the delimitation without a caste census, and they say that Karnataka will do good when it comes to their party's seats getting here.
I think they are mistaken. So we shall fight it out, and we shall make sure that the process is much more improved. and much more relevant to India's current situation.
Okay. So how many seats does Karnataka lose? May lose if you have
We
to.
are yet to see, boss. Right? There's all sorts of talk that the overall size of parliament will be increased, so that it will appear as if each state got more. But what you need to compare is today we have 28 parliament seats in Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh has 80. Is that ratio being maintained? Is it worsening in favor of some other state? Those are the kinds of questions that you need to ask. So no falling for quick dramas. And there is also women's reservation that is expected to come in. So there's a lot of churn ahead of us in the next few years.
Okay, fine. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. So that was of the former MP Rajiv Gowda giving us a perspective about the census and the delimitation, especially with regards to Karnataka PR.
All right, with that, Belly, I would like to thank you for joining us on the broadcast, sharing all those details.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.